Hey, what's going on, everyone? Mike Lowe here, SimSportsGaming.com, episode 33 of our franchise all-season series here of every pitch of every single game. Obviously not streaming every one of those games, but you can see the Tigers are currently 41-52. Every single pitch of every single game has been played up to this point, and we are just about up to where we are in real life. I'm still just a few days behind, but probably going to play a couple games today, a couple games Sunday, and then that will get me caught up, is my plan, and then just kind of take this break off along with real life. Or again, if I need to play a game or two during this time, that's totally fine. And we'll do just that. You can see the month of July has been much kinder to the Tigers. We actually have a winning record so far in July. We are 5-3 in July. If we go back to this Minnesota series, I'm trying to remember the last time we actually streamed. I don't recall, but I know we had a tough series here in Chicago where I said really we could have easily won 2 out of 3 games here. I was really hoping to go into Baltimore, a really bad team, probably the worst team in the American League, and sweep. We actually lost 2 of 3, and really kind of this game here just started kind of changing my approach a little bit of just, okay, like we just got to start doing things a little bit differently, and it's been paying off a little bit, and I'll talk more about that during the stream. But again, little changes are just things that we should all be looking at. My changes are going to probably be different than your changes. But since that time, we did win the last game in Baltimore, and then Minnesota, we actually swept Minnesota, so we had a little 4-game win streak going on. Kansas City, a team that we still have not beaten all year long. I think this put us like at 0-8 against them, and then 0-9, and then we finally won. It was a really tight game. Both these games were tough losses. This was a game we won. We were leading 1-0, and then gave up 2 runs in the 5th and lost. We just could not get any offense going. This game, we can start to see the loss of Aroydis Vizcaino. Check out that bullpen. Right, the Tigers were winning 5-0, and then it was 5-4, then it was 6-4, then it was 7-4. In the 7th, we gave up 1. In the 8th, we gave up 2. In the 9th, we gave up 3 and lost. And so, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see one of the reasons I didn't want Joe Jimenez in the closing role at the start of the season. I just didn't really think he had good makeup for a closer. I like Joe Jimenez in this game. I think he's a good pitcher, but he's just not really what I'd be looking for a closer. And we really saw it in this particular game. I mean, really the whole bullpen struggled here a little bit in this game. But that was a really tough loss, really crushing, because again, we finally thought we had Kansas City beat. But we were able to come back in this game, finally the last game of that series, and pull off the win. The bullpen, I'm trying to remember this game, honestly, I don't recall, but Kyle Funkhauser pitched really well. 6 innings, 6 hits, just 1 earned run, only 3 strikeouts, but pitched really well. And the bullpen came in other than Ivan Nova. This game, again, was kind of out of hand for a little bit. It was 8-1 at one point. We brought in Nova just to kind of hopefully close out the game, and he got lit up. But the bullpen came in, and Joe Jimenez pitched really well this game. You can see striking out 2 there in the 9th to pick up his 4th save. We then went into LA, one of the best teams in baseball, the team that we made a trade with to get Joe Adell. They, of course, got Aroydis Vizcaino. And they got Jordy Mercer from us, who was having just an absolute career year. And they also got Riley Green from the Tigers. So it was a really fair trade that we talked a lot about on the previous episode. And they took the first game here, hit the ball pretty well in this game. 6 runs on just 6 hits for them. Let's see, we had a few doubles from the Tigers, a couple of home runs. And they had 4 home runs themselves. So again, the long ball really eating up Michael Fulmer, who he's 3-11. He's just been really not good this year. But he eats innings for us, and that's kind of what his role was in this game. It's weird. He's our ace, but he's kind of like an inning-eating ace at this point. Just hoping he'll rebound and have a better second half. And so again, that was a tough loss. But the last 2 games, the Tigers have won. This was a game. Tigers went up 1-0 in the 3rd, and then they went up 5-0 in the 5th, and it was 5-1 and then 5-2, and they were able to hang on and get the win there. This might have been the first or second game I played with the version 2. What are we on now? 2.2? I forget. Whatever the latest one though. I think it's 2.2 now. Where power was lowered to 4, and I really like I am loving the slider set where it's at right now. I think it's truly perfect for where I've been playing. I tweeted out earlier that I wish MLB The Show would give us a discipline slider, because that's probably the only thing I'd want to increase, is just making it. And this is a game problem. There's not a single slider set that's gonna be able to fix this, but just it's if you don't want to walk the AI, it's very easy to not walk the AI, right? But as you can see here, I mean, I did walk 4 in this game, and that's kind of a standard thing. I'll get 2 to 4 walks usually, or something like that. Um, and it's just something you got to be honest about. You got to be able to pitch out of the strike zone, and that's what I've tried to do with this slider set. Is it's kind of risk reward. If you pitch out of the strike zone, you're going to probably get some strikeouts, get guys to chase, but you may end up walking guys too. And so that's exactly baseball, right? So, but I do think a disciplined slider would help. As you can see, Joe Jimenez gets another save here, and Spencer Turnbull pitched pretty well through his 5 innings, 3 walks, just 2 strikeouts, but bullpen came in and did a pretty nice job there. And that's where we're at. So I'm sorry. And then there was this game yesterday I tweeted out about. Crazy game, 0-0 until the top of the 9th. Pinch hit Christian Stewart, who's just been really bad, but I did not like Andrew Romine in that particular spot. There's a man on second with 2 outs and was just trying to drive in that run. And Christian Stewart took a 2-1 cutter outside and pulled it in the right center field. I knew it was going to be off the wall at least, and that ball carried all the way out for a 2-run shot. Ended up winning the game for the Tigers. It was like a literal pumping my fist moment, because I was just like, boy, if the Tigers could get some momentum and take 2 of these first 3 games against a really good LA team, that would be really cool. You may be wondering how the new pieces for the Angels have been working, and I couldn't tell you. I have not seen any of them yet. Jordy Mercer has not played, which is disappointing. But again, he's only a 72 overall, and they have a ton of infield depth. And Vizcaino, they haven't been in a spot to bring in their new closer yet. So unfortunately, I have not seen any of them. But maybe in today's game we will. And yeah. But again, today, the idea with today's stream is I'm taking questions. If you want to see anything, again, I've played every single game. I've played every single pitch of this particular franchise all the way through 93 games. I mean, within by the end of this series here, I will be at 100 games played with 62 left. And when you start getting into August and September, that's when it starts to feel like, oh my gosh, I might actually get this done. And we're pretty close. We're a few weeks away from being at that point. Of course, the trade deadline coming up, there's a lot going on. But if people want to see kind of where things stand in this franchise, I'm happy to take requests, and I'll just kind of walk through and show you. Because again, we're pretty darn close. We're beyond the midway point of the season already. So even though we're not at the All-Star break, the All-Star break does not come exactly at 81 games. It's a little bit later in the season there. So, and I'm still drinking my coffee. So it's one of those days. Nice lazy day. It's hot as hell outside. So not really going to be doing much outside until later tonight, because it is just too stinking hot out. So again, the Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10 games, as you can see, but they're still 10 games out. I think we're about 11.5 out of the wild card. I can just give you a quick rundown of where things are at. The White Sox and Cleveland have been just kind of back and forth in this particular division. For a while there, Cleveland had surpassed the White Sox, but the White Sox have now taken a somewhat comfortable lead with the 3-game lead here. So that's the American League Central. By the way, quick interjection: subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. It would certainly help. It's weird. I was looking at my old YouTube channel, the Mike Lowe YouTube channel, where I was streaming my previous seasons, and I have like 3 times as many followers on that channel that hasn't been active in like a year. And I am not sure how to get those people over here, and I hope that they're not missing these streams. But if you could spread the word, that would be helpful. I try not to do tons of like self-promotion stuff, but I just think the more we can get people connected with these things, because the fixed franchise mode stuff, the fixed Madden franchise, I mean, it applies to all of these games, right? I don't think any game has a terrible franchise mode, but I do think all of the games can stand to improve their franchise mode, and some considerably, considering what we kind of see year to year at this point. And so I think the more eyes and ears we get on these sort of things, the better it can be. And I'm just a huge believer that like we don't need this like political divide between like the ultimate team modes and franchise. I don't understand why it has to be so divided. Why can't we just make the game better across the board? Why can't we've done a very good job. These studios have done a very good job of getting franchise players into Diamond Dynasty. And I know a lot of younger people play Diamond Dynasty, but there's plenty of people who've grown up playing franchise modes who play it too, and that's great. So what about the other way though? What about bringing people from these ultimate team modes back into a franchise mode, because that's still the core of these games. We are baseball fans or we are football fans because of the leagues that we watch in real life. It's very rare when you get someone who's just like, yeah, I just love playing baseball video games, but I don't watch any baseball in real. I have no idea what real baseball is. Those people exist, but they're rare, and so trying to find that pattern. And I don't think anyone has the exact answer yet, but I think just having those conversations, sharing the word, and that sort of thing. So when I say subscribe to the YouTube channel, that's what it's focused on. Sharing the YouTube channel, sharing it, coming into our Discord at simsportsgaming.com. And joining up there and talking about these games, which yesterday we just expanded that Discord to include just general game chatter. So it's not just about our leagues anymore. And just getting in there and talking about these things can be super helpful. So again, if you're watching this live, if you're watching it, whatever you want to call it, recorded or archived, just check us out. And again, give us a subscribe, give us a share it with your friends, because I think the more people we can get involved in this, the better. And again, if you're interested in streaming on this channel, let us know. If you're interested in writing for the website, let us know. There's different ways that we can all get involved to help this sort of thing. You do not have to be a professional journalist or a professional game streamer. None of that stuff matters. It's just having a passion for this sort of thing that you want to share can be really good. So having said all that, let's continue on. American League West, you can see Cleveland. Los Angeles are 4-6 in their last 10 games, so they've actually slid a little bit as Houston's gotten really hot, and that's the team we're going to be playing over the weekend here. And they have now surpassed, Los Angeles. And so again, that's kind of turning into a two-team race, almost similar to the American League Central, but again, a two-team race there essentially. And the American League East, it's at least the three teams here: Red Sox, Rays, Yankees, all very, very close, all over 50 wins at this point in the season. And that's going to be an interesting race to see, especially with the Rays in the mix there. As far as the wild card, Angels, Rays, Yankees have a pretty comfortable lead there. Cleveland, Athletics, even the Rangers still in the mix there. National League, the surprise Marlins, 4 games above 500. So again, an asterisk. This division's just been kind of bad. But by default, the Marlins at just 4 games over 500 have a 1-game lead over the Phillies, 2.5-game lead over the Nationals, and a 4.5-game lead over the Braves, who just made a really interesting trade, by the way. I'll have to show you. They've definitely beefed up a little bit. I think the Braves are going to try to make a run. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Yeah, we're close to 100 games. It'll be next Sunday. I will hit the 100 game mark, which is nice. It's like walking cross country almost, right? Or it's like climbing a mountain. It's like you kind of start checking off the distance you've covered, and it is pretty impressive. Cubs, very comfortable 8-game lead in the National League Central. Reds still in the mix, 3 games over 500. In the National League West, Dodgers, very comfortable lead, 63 wins already for the Dodgers. Good grief. Diamondbacks, I mean, very impressive, 59% winning percentage, but 8 games back, so they're going to probably be the top wildcard team, and there it is. With the Reds in the mix, there's a lot of teams still in this. Look at this, 5 games out: Cardinals, Brewers, Braves, Nationals, Phillies. I mean, basically the whole American League or National League East is still in the race. The National League is going to be fun to watch, very, very fun to watch. So let's see what else I can show you. And I know people have asked to see like league leaders and stuff like that. I want to talk about, there was a big trade that just happened. Check this trade out with the Royals and Braves. The Braves got Adalberto Mondesi for Drew Waters and Jeffrey Ramos. Jeffrey Ramos, if I recall, is just kind of like an average, maybe like a B potential guy. Drew Waters is an A potential center fielder. So they got a couple really nice pieces, did the Royals, but this is kind of a cool trade, because at first you're thinking like, what the hell? The Royals are crazy, right? Because Mondesi is like an 85 overall. Let's go and take a look at this. So the Braves get a new leadoff hitter, Adalberto Mondesi, an 85 overall, right? So first off, B potential, switch hitter, 24 years old. But he's coming up into his arbitration years, right? So I think the game's actually done a pretty good job of looking at this and saying, okay, this guy's going to start to get paid. He's been a pro for a couple of years. He's probably a Super 2 player, which is where he's hitting his arbitration a little bit early, which I don't even know if the game recognizes that. But he's up for arbitration next year, so he's going to certainly make more than 584,000. Very, very small market team in the Royals decide to move him, and they move him for a couple nice players. Actually, I have to go back to their roster to find the one guy. But they get Jeffrey Ramos. So again, 20-year-old. He's a nice player. Very, very nice player. Obviously going to be under team control for much, much longer. So a player that's already developing some power. Can definitely be a decent outfielder with some nice speed. He's a good player overall, no question. They also pick up Drew Waters, an A potential switch hitting 20-year-old center fielder. Look at this guy's ratings already at 20. This guy is really good. This guy can hit lefties really well, which is really weird for switch hitters. Usually they hit righties better just because they see more righty pitchers typically. But this guy is going to be a really good player. So they get two really good outfielders who have a lot of team control. And you're thinking, yeah, but they gave up Mondesi, right? What the hell are they thinking? And we know why the Braves would want him, right? I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It solidifies kind of their shortstop spot. They still have Dansby Swanson, but again, underachieving, especially this year, hasn't done much of anything. And he's really, for what he was #1 pick in the draft, right? And has kind of underachieved since then. Had a really nice first, kind of cup of coffee in the league. It's 129 at bats. But since then hasn't been very good. Last year did okay, 17 home runs, but he's regressed again this year. So it looks like the Braves have said enough's enough. We'll figure out something to do with Swanson, but we're going to get Mondesi. Here's what's interesting, though. If you're worried about them giving up too much, look at Mondesi. Look at his career stats here. He has not really done a whole lot. Not much better than Dansby Swanson. Even in the previous seasons, right? Last year, this is not very impressive. Even, 23-year-old, it's not bad. But again, you'd like to see that improve, but he hasn't at all. His best year, 2018, 275 at bats. He hit 14 home runs. I mean, you're definitely seeing the potential here, but it's almost like the Braves are kind of taking a chance here on Mondesi, giving up two very nice prospects to see if they can kind of take Mondesi and rebound with him. I like Mondesi a lot. I mean, the first thing I look at is shortstops, that defensive rating. Not to mention he's got speed, he's got a decent bat, he's a switch hitter. So it was an interesting trade to see there for the Braves. So I thought that was pretty cool. Daniel, we can look at season stats now. I would like to try and do some of this kind of request stuff now. So, well, let's just look kind of, I guess, let's do team leaders, I guess, first, right? Well, I don't know. Let me reread Daniel's question here. Can you go over all your players' season stats after the game? Can you go over all your players' season stats? Okay, so you want to see player stats. So here they are. I guess we can just kind of go, let's start with hitters. So I've mentioned on the last stream, we sent down Jake Rogers. And so again, we just haven't really had much at all as far as production from the catcher spot. But catcher to me is defense, defense, defense. Give me some good defense. If you can chip in on hitting, great. But that's why we brought up Eric Haas. He's a good defensive catcher who can just kind of play on Sundays and so on to give Romine a break. But catcher is something we definitely need to start looking for more production from this team, especially for next season. Again, Miguel Cabrera has quietly had a nice season. He's like maybe in the top 4 for first baseman all-star voting. But he hasn't really he leads our team in doubles, I know, but he's just got the 9 home runs so far. On base with 339. He does walk a lot, so he's got 40 walks and 350 at bats. So it's interesting that he only has an on base with 339. But that's because he just isn't hitting a ton. He's certainly not slugging a lot. I mean, his OPS is 748. It's not bad. And again, really, really good walk to strikeout ratio, almost 1-to-1. He does lead the team in doubles. And so again, Miguel Cabrera has done fine. I mean, this is what Miguel Cabrera is going to be for us at this point. You can see his ratings there as he continues to regress. He's owed a ton of money. I mean, this guy's going to be here. Our only hope is that he retires. As much as I love Miguel Cabrera, he's just I think he'll be more productive in real life. I'm actually really curious to see how he does in this 60-game season if baseball actually does this in real life. I think he could actually be a really productive player because he's had some health issues, and if he can stay healthy over these 60 games, I think there's going to be a lot of motivation for a guy like Miguel Cabrera because even a bad team like Detroit in a 60-game season, you just don't know. I think it's very, very interesting to see what kind of season Miguel Cabrera could have because it could be. I still think he can have productive seasons for the Tigers. You look at his real life stats from before. He's put up decent numbers the last couple of years. Just the power numbers haven't been there. And again, he's had back issues. And so if you ever try to swing a golf club or swing a bat or anything like that twisty, bendy stuff with a bad back, I mean, this is why you're seeing this. But he hasn't hit over 20 home runs since 2016, where he hit 38. But again, you can see it, right? Injury year, healthy year, right? And he's kind of had these nagging injuries. So he is in much better shape. He's lost some weight. He definitely looks leaner. And I think that's going to definitely help him with his back issue. So anyway, CJ Cron's been much more productive lately. He's still only hitting 188. He's got 18 home runs. And so again, he's on pace to hit probably 30-something home runs this year. So he's been a nice player. Jonathan Scope's probably been our best player overall. He is probably going to make the All-Star team. I think he's the third highest second baseman vote getting. But since they take a player from each team, I'm guessing he's going to be the guy. I think he's going to be our guy here. He's a guy who's also a free agent, but I don't really think I want to trade him. I really want to try to re-sign him. I really like Jonathan Scope. He's just been a really, really good player. He's a good defender. He's not regressing yet. I would like to try and bring him back because he's been pretty good. He's now hitting 269. He's got 20 home runs already, so he's potential to hit, mid 30s, which is huge. I don't think he's ever done that in his career. 32 is the most he's ever hit, so he may certainly surpass that if he can stay healthy here. So we'll see. We've been a pretty healthy team. Like I've said before on the Operation Sports thread and so on, that the injury setting at 6 really is not ideal. But in order for you to be able to field your AAA and AA teams, I mean, it is what it is. You really can't go much higher, unfortunately. I wrote an article about that on simsportsgaming.com if you want to check it out. It's kind of like my top list of improvements for franchise mode for MLB The Show. And that is up on the website there. But that was one of the things I talked about. It's like they really need to try and expand this, and hopefully with PlayStation 5 they'll have the disk space to do it. Expand out the size of the rosters because even at 6, you're just not getting enough injuries. It probably should be more like 7 or 7.5 if they actually were able to give us that ability. Would probably be the best. Or you could even do something like for 1 week it's at 7, the next week it's at 8, something like that. That's probably going to give you the most realistic amount of injuries, but you're going to have like first baseman playing shortstop at your AA team because you're just going to run out of players. So it seems like shortstop is a position that gets those really active positions get worn down pretty quickly. Harold Castro is cooled off a little bit, but he's still just a really nice player that I like having on this team. He's a nice utility player. He's going to be pretty cheap for the next few seasons, so he's not going anywhere. At the very least, I think he can make a really nice, again, as it says there, a platoon player. He's not a great defender, but the times I've played him at second base, like he's done fine. He plays a lot of third base for us. He's played some outfield. He's a guy I like having on the team for sure. Jeimer Candelario has been hitting a little bit better. He's a guy that I still have some hope for at 26 with B potential. He's got great discipline. I think he's a really, really good defender, even though he doesn't have a great arm at third base. We just don't have many options at third base, honestly. So he's a guy that we're hoping will start to rebound. Nico Goodrum has been a lot better. He's actually the leading Gold Glove vote getter for shortstops, but that's because most of his games have been played in the outfield, so he hasn't accumulated anywhere near as many errors as some of the other shortstops. So it's funny because he has like just as many putouts, but he has like way less assists because again he's played so much in the outfield. But Nico Goodrum is another guy I really like. He's going to be around. I don't mind paying him a little bit. He's a really, really good defender. He'll at least be on the team next year, if not longer. And he's starting to hit right-handed hitting a lot better, as you can see there. So I really like Nico. Again, he's a really, really nice utility player. Sergio Alcantara, he's only played in 5 games, but he's been fun. He hit a home run already. I mean, look at this. He hit a home run. Check out those ratings. I mean, this is what's really cool about this game, right? So at 23 years old, 5'9", 168 pound, hits a home run. That's been really cool to see. And again, he's kind of been playing above his ratings a little bit here. There's nothing. He's a middle infielder, or he's just a backup middle infielder for us. There's nothing really drastic going on. Very, very small sample size, but he hits 250. He's a guy we just kind of throw into that 9 hole, and he's getting on base once in a while. So it's been kind of fun to watch. So look at that slugging percentage, 563. He's got a few doubles, if I recall. Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple doubles there. So yeah, that's been super cool. Christian Stewart's been probably our most disappointing player, even though he did have that huge clutch 2-run home run in the previous game. I don't quite know what's going on with him. I'm just trying to let him sort of sort it out. Again, he's never had great seasons at the major league level, but this has been really disappointing for him so far. And it's promising to see. Well, I guess he's actually satisfied with his performance. I'm interested to see why he's satisfied with that. But so yeah, I don't know. He's just a guy. We have some time to kind of see what he does, at least for next year. He'll probably be on the team next year. He's a nice pinch hit bat, as we saw. Center field, Joe Adell has been kind of cold for us since joining the team. I'm actually going to be bumping him down in the lineup. Of course, I have very, very high hopes for him. I think he'll be absolutely fine. He's only 20 years old. But maybe the pressure of hitting 2 in this lineup has just been a little bit too much for Joe Adell to handle here. So we'll be looking to bump him down. Of course, Cameron Maybin is a guy, it's like, he's probably a guy I should be trading. He's been just really, really good for us. An OPS of nearly 850. He's got 15 home runs on the year, 31 walks and 290 at bats. I mean, it's almost a career year for him. I mean, he's already had more at bats than he did last year in New York. The last time he was kind of a full-time starter was in Atlanta. He only had a 697. So we'll see. Is he a guy that can keep it up? Is he a guy we should sell high? If we sell him, it would definitely open up a spot to get Christian Stewart in the lineup every day, and we could probably see more about what he's about. And truthfully, I think Christian Stewart could step into that role pretty well. He's not nearly as good of a defender as Cameron Maybin. But what are we going to do with Cameron Maybin? Like, am I going to really re-sign this guy? Probably not. But he's still progressing, right? So it's kind of cool to see. He's cheap, so I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Cameron Maybin yet. He's our cleanup hitter right now. Victor Reyes has been really, really hot as of late. He's now up to 291. He had 4 hits, or I think he's had like 7 hits the last 2 games. A couple doubles mixed in there, so he's been really nice. It's weird. I don't think the game does this, and I'm sure it's just placebo, but it almost seems like, because they say in real life, like some players just get comfortable hitting in a certain spot, and this is why pitchers, even like managers will use pitchers in certain innings, because it's a comfort zone. You kind of know your role. When I play this guy in the leadoff spot, he just seems to perform way, way better. And again, I don't think the game, I think this is all just placebo. It could even be just my mental connection with having Victor Reyes in the leadoff spot. Maybe I feel more comfortable hitting with him there. But I wish you could see, like in out of the park baseball, you can see a player's like performance at different spots in the lineup, because it would be really interesting to see, because I can guarantee you he is like just light years more productive in the leadoff spot than when I had him like batting 6th or 7th or something like that. So halfway through the year, again, 345, I'd like to see a little bit more on base. I'd like to see a little bit more walks out of him. But he doesn't have a great discipline rating, so really that's not that bad. And he's able to get on base. I've actually been able to find some ways to bunt for hits with him. So that's been much, much better. Yeah, so that kind of gives you a look at the hitters. Pitching's been interesting. I think it's going to be easier to look at pitching here. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about lineup, I wanted to make just a couple changes here. So I want to put Cameron second. We're going to do this. Yeah, I think that's going to work pretty well. And then same thing here. We're going to move Cameron up. That should work. Okay, so looking at pitching, I talked about Michael Fulmer. Just don't know what's going on, but he can eat innings at least. Again, he is going to make some money, but nothing crazy. He'll be on the team, it looks like, next year. I mean, he eats innings. He's a healthy player, um, who can come in. Or I shouldn't say he's healthy. He's been healthy this year. He's had some trouble over the years with that. So Spencer Turnbull's been pretty good. He's definitely been a little bit better. He's one of those guys, like when he's on, he's really really good, and when he's not, I struggle pitching with him. As you can see there, 66 strikeouts in 84 innings, 1.61 WHIP. Daniel Norris has been our best starter. He's 5-6, 64 strikeouts in 92 innings, 3.51 ERA. It's weird, right? I keep wanting to move him to the bullpen because I think he'd be a really, really good like lefty setup guy, but he's just pitched so well. Like I just can't, and he's making 3 million. I mean, he's a guy I just can't take out of the rotation right now. He's pitched a lot better, and he's probably had the biggest ratings jump. It seems like too. He's now our highest rated starting pitcher. Casey Mize has been pitching really, really well since coming up. Again, he struggled a little bit maybe in that first start or two. But he is really starting to come on. This guy is going to be so good. Just pitching with him, I mean, he has just been really, really fun. So he's 6 starts, 1-1, 31 innings pitched. So he's just gone about a little more than 5 innings per start. He's given up 5 home runs, which is quite a bit. But a good strikeout to walk ratio. If we look at his advanced metrics, you can see the inflated home runs per 9. And again, he hasn't been great, but just for 22 rookie. Kyle Funkhauser again has been pitching a lot better. He's been nice filling in for the injured Jordan Zimmerman, who is another guy that if he comes back healthy, is another guy we may end up looking to trade. Maybe free up some of that salary if we can. As far as bullpen, Ivan Nova, I mean, he's been our longer reliever. He's pretty bad. That's his role. Lucas Sims, very limited time since coming up, 3.2 innings pitched, but he's got 7 strikeouts, so he's done well there. Daniel Bard, got him on the waiver wire before the season started. He's done really well. Nick Ramirez, probably our most surprising relief pitcher. Just a 64 overall, but he's pitched really darn well. He's 3-1, 36 innings. He's got 10 holds. 3.22 ERA, 29 strikeouts to 10 walks, so 3-to-1 ratio roughly. Under 1 for his home runs per 9, which is interesting because look at his home runs per 9 isn't really all that great. But you're seeing that that rating, I should say, improve, and his advanced metrics hold up as well. So he's been a nice surprise, really. It's really nice to see that he is starting to mature here and turn into a pretty decent relief pitcher. Alex Wilson probably quietly has been our best relief pitcher so far. He is a guy I like to bring in to kind of get double plays. He throws a really nice slider, a lot of movement, and he's not a big strikeout guy. So if I have a guy on base and I'm trying to get that double play, he's a guy I like to bring in there. He's kind of like our 6th inning setup guy. If I need to bring in someone in the 6th inning like that, I like to go to him. But again, a lot of times it's just when there's guys on base. But he's pitched pretty darn well. His home runs per 9, again, just about average. But he's pitched really well otherwise. I mean, a 4-to-1, more than a 4-to-1 K to strikeout. I'm sorry, K to walk ratio there. Buck Farmer hasn't been as good recently, but again, one of our surprise pitchers this year. He's been in the setup role pretty much all year. 15 holds. He does have 5 blown saves, though, which of course can happen even when you're not a closer. 3.27 ERA. If we look at his advanced metrics, again, a little inflated home runs per 9. But his advanced metrics here are holding up as far as component ERA and fielding independent ERA. And his K to walk ratio, really, really impressive there. Almost 3-to-1. So he's been really good. Xavier Cedeno, again, has been solid. He was really, really, really hot for most of the year. Got really cold, and now he's kind of back to being pretty good. And so all that leads us to, again, a really, really wonderful component ERA, 2.6. He's keeping the ball in the ballpark most of the time. And again, more than a 2-to-1, almost a 3-to-1 ratio in K per walks. And then Joe Jimenez, again, he's just not a guy. His clutch rating's been up a lot. It's so weird. These ratings are so different. Like when you go in game versus on this screen, they're completely different. Like he has a clutch rating of like 60 something in game. But anyway, uh, he is the guy we've been using. He's still our most, I believe, our most clutch player. If I just flip through here, so by default, yeah, he's been our closer. But again, he's had some trouble. Um, for some reason, it's showing he has 0 blown saves. I don't know if that's. Did he just? Let me check this. I feel like, although maybe this game wasn't it? Was it tied in the ninth? Yeah, it was tied in the ninth. So yeah, that's not a blown save. So that's right. Um, so surprisingly, he hasn't actually blown a save. I'm kind of amazed by that. But he's definitely given up home runs. I mean, there's been a lot of saves where like I get this, he gets the save, but he still gives up 3 hits and a home run, and we still win by 1 run or something like that. But his Ks per 9, excellent. You can see there. I mean, that's a horrendous home runs per 9, especially for a closer, for anybody. But I mean, your closer, the last thing you need is that person giving up home runs. And I think that's just a case of the clutch rating. He's got really, really good clutch, but when you face a very, very clutch hitter in the ninth, I mean, that hitter is, it's like handling like a trump card in euchre or something like that. I mean, it's just very, very powerful thing. Um, I like Joe Jimenez again. We're at a position now. He's 25. I would rather him kind of work and grow into this role as opposed to like trying to chase a pennant this year. So yeah, that's what's going on with our team. If we look at like league leaders, I looked at this the other day, so I can tell you, like, for instance, I don't think we have any doubles leaders. Miguel Cabrera is in the mix there. He leads our team with 21. Home runs, Jonathan Scope, 20. So you're thinking, like, oh, 20 home runs for second baseman. His sliders are crazy. It's not that bad, right? He's not even the top, I guess he is the top second baseman for home runs, yeah. But, I mean, he's got 82 power against lefties. So, I mean, he's no slouch. It's not like it's a fluke thing. And if you're thinking like, well, he's an 80 overall, he's an 82 overall, is that too much? I mean, look at the guys above him. So these guys are all rated higher, but Jimenez is an 83, Mancini's an 82, so same rating. So, it's not terribly far fetched at all. If we look at the National League, just kind of scroll down, looking at overalls, so all these guys are rated higher. Christian Walker. So again, just about the same thing, right? Just about the same thing. As we look at a 76 overall, but plays in Colorado. Same thing with Arenado. So nothing out of the ordinary. I'm trying to think if there's any other stats that jump out. I believe Cabrera leads our team in walks. Oops, that's the National League. So where's he at? Miguel Cabrera with 40 walks and 350 at bats. So again, that's more than 10%. I mean, if you're getting more than 10% walk percentage, which is right here, that's pretty good. And you can see that's kind of in line with what he's been doing. In his more productive years, I mean, he's getting a lot of intentional walks and stuff. That's when you start to see these numbers get really inflated. But you can see he definitely has cut down on his K per 9. And again, some of that's just the sliders, or just the game, I should say. If you don't want to strike out, I mean, I don't know, I take that back. Like, the way the sliders have been recently, hey, Top Cat, the way it's been recently is I've had a lot of swings and misses. I've actually had to up the foul percentage, as you noticed, maybe in slider version 2 or 2.1, that foul ball percentage for a user has gone up. And I don't think every single one of my hitters, for instance, are going to show stats like that. Let's just take a look here and see. So what I'm looking at here is this strikeout percentage and like kind of comparing what I've done with their real life numbers. So again, his has come down. His has come down at least from last year, but pretty much in line with his last few seasons. Overall, his career, I mean, it's a little bit low. So Cabrera, as we saw, was down. Jonathan Scopes is like right on. Look at his career average versus what he's done this year. I mean, that's spot on. CJ Crone, pretty much spot on. Nico Goodrums has come down quite a bit, but he's also had some really, really high ratings before that. Harold Castro, a very, very small sample size. He hasn't had a ton of playing time in his career. but again, pretty close to his average. Uh, Joe Adell doesn't have anything to look at. Austin Romine, again, a little low. And some of these are just because I wasn't striking out much at all in the beginning of the season as we were adjusting the slider. So these numbers will continue to trend towards their career averages for sure. There won't be a problem with that. So yeah, interesting things to see. If you have other requests you want to see, let me know. But otherwise, the Tigers are about to play their 94th game or something like that. Hard to believe. I did adjust the lineups. It's weird because I've really liked Cameron Maybin in the cleanup spot because he's basically like a left-handed hitter, and I like that he kind of offset. I mean, I could really put him in the middle of any of these guys. Um, I'm almost wondering if I put Cabrera second, but he's going to be pissed off because he likes being a star. He's happy. He's happy. Yeah, I like it like that. Yep, works for me. Give this a quick save. Yeah, if there's other things you want to see, speak now. Otherwise, I'll be jumping into gameplay pretty quickly. Again, the slider changes most recently. Again, contact, I said you could put it at 6 or 5. I've been having really good success, and I don't mean good as in like productive. I mean like realistic. I've had um, really good uh, contact at 6. I've had really good results there. Human power went down to 4. I think that has to be done. Um, I mentioned foul frequency. It's now at 3. That's going to help offset just a few of the swings and misses we were seeing that were probably a little bit too inflated. And again, if you want to put this down to 5, I think you'd be fine, especially if you're a better team. What else has changed recently? Not a whole lot. I mean, slider set's been pretty solid. Yeah, I don't really think much else has changed. Don't forget to mess with your trade frequency as the season continues. The trade, by the way, I saw someone in the chat saying, what was the trade for Joe Adell? There it is. So this was when I was looking to trade Jordy Mercer. I wanted to wait till another one of the AI teams had done a second trade because I had already made the Matthew Boyd trade and I didn't want to get all trade crazy. I wanted to try and stay in line with the rest of the league. So once I saw some other teams making a second trade, I started shopping around Jordy Mercer. And Joe Adell had been on the trade block all season long for the Angels. And I said, what the hell? Let's just see. I threw them Jordy Mercer. I said, if we built a trade around Jordy Mercer for Joe Adell, obviously we need to give up a hell of a lot more than that. What would you be looking for? And one of the offers they gave me was Aroldis Vizcaino, who has been the best closer in baseball, if not at least the American League. Um, and they already had a pretty good closer, but it really, really solidifies. I mean, they have a great bullpen at this point now. Um, and so they wanted Vizcaino, who has an option year for next year. So it's a really nice piece they pick up. And you're thinking like, well, Joe Adell, why would you give up such a young, an A 20-year-old prospect? Well, they got an A 19-year-old prospect back in Riley Green. And so I agree. I think this trade would have been a little bit ridiculous without Riley Green being in the mix. But obviously now we don't really need a Riley Green. And what I like about the Angels getting Riley Green above Joe Adell is that they obviously have Mike Trout in center field. Riley Green being a year younger, it kind of buys them an extra year of Mike Trout, right? They don't need to worry about an aging Mike Trout Uh, they have some time to still work with Trout. They have some time for Riley Green to develop because Riley Green's probably not going to be ready well, maybe he could probably play next year at age 20. But if they wanted to wait a little bit longer, they can certainly do that. Whereas Joe Adell, he's a guy who can really start playing now and certainly next season. And so, but they don't really have the space for him. So I think this is the trade that really worked out. Um, I do wish that they were using Jordy Mercer a little bit, but you got to keep in mind, Jordy Mercer has been a really good player for us. I mean, just a great, great player for us. He came out of nowhere. And again, 380. I mean, look at this OPS of 912 and in a pretty decent sample size, 200 at bats. But he's only 72 overall and uh, 69 technically, and they just don't have a spot for him. I mean, they have a ton of depth here on the infield. Tommy La Stella is going to be an all-star this year, hitting 294. He's the leading vote getter for second baseman. Um, David Fletcher, you could probably make an argument that, well, maybe David Fletcher should come in. Simmons has been their starter, and he's just dinged up here for a few days. And again, he's had a really nice year. So they have some depth for sure. Obviously, Rendon, he's hitting 366 in front of Trout. I mean, just sick. Uh, so I don't know. Did they need him? Maybe not. But I guess getting kind of a throw in. But they do get Vizcaino, who's their best relief pitcher now. I mean, this guy has been just lights out for us. 25 saves. He has no blown saves. A 1.86 ERA, 49 strikeouts. You cannot get any better than this. And so they get a really nice piece. He has a contract option. You can see at the bottom of the screen there. So potentially they're able to bring this guy back on a pretty cheap contract. And so, and of course they get Riley Green, who again is no slouch. A very nice, probably the Tigers' best hitting prospect. He is the Tigers' best hitting prospect. So that was the deal there. Again, Joe Adell hasn't been great for us. I could put Mercer in their lineup, but I don't like doing that. I let this thing just kind of organically grow and breathe on its own. I don't worry about stuff like that. Plus, I just like to see how the game's performing. So I don't think it's unrealistic. I don't think they should put him in the lineup. They have really good players elsewhere. And if Simmons had gotten hurt longer, it'd be a really nice trade for them to have that. So I kind of look at Jordy Mercer as just a throw in. It kind of bulks them up. It gives them some depth on the cheap. And again, it really solidifies their bullpen without having to lose any kind of prospect. So to me, Jordy Mercer is just kind of a throw in, even though he was kind of the focal point of our side of the trade. I'm totally fine with that. So let's see. No, Ryan, we haven't played. I've just been kind of looking around at some stuff so far. But just by chance, it is Casey Mize pitching again today. So we talked about his performance so far. But Tigers will look to improve upon their 5-3 July record. We're starting to play some better baseball for sure. And that's nice to see. If we look at all-star voting, I can just kind of jump to where you're going to see some Tigers showing up. There's Vizcaino, by the way, right? Still the top leading vote getter for closers. Miguel Cabrera, 4th in the American League. I doubt he'll make the team. I don't know. I think Jonathan Scope will make the team, potentially. Very, very close to passing Altuve. That's probably... I think the only other person you're going to see on this list is Cameron Maven, but again, he's kind of towards the bottom there for right fielders. Probably a guy we're going to consider moving. I think we could afford to move him at this point. And I would love to maybe work out a deal where maybe we send... where am I going here? Once we see what's going on, like Jordan Zimmerman, 1 to 2 weeks, he should be back before the trade deadline. If I can work out a deal to move the rest of that contract, which I don't know, that could be tough, and maybe send Cameron Maben along with it, I think that would be a really nice trade. And at that point, I'd pretty much just take whatever I could get. Just a nice player of some sort. That would be completely fine at that point, because I doubt those guys will be back on the team next year, even though they both actually have done really well for us this year. But all right, game time. I am still okay on complete games. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Still under 20. So I'm just going to jump into the game, and if we get a few, that's not going to kill us. But can the Tigers convincingly win this series? Oh, how'd that happen? Oh, somebody came back from injury. So we have one too many people on the 40-man roster here. Oh, Brandon Dixon I actually kind of like. I don't want to get rid of him, even though he's kind of the oldest guy at the bottom. Zach Godley, same thing, still being used. Anybody on the A-ball team? Doesn't look like it. I mean, a right-handed relief pitcher. I doubt anyone's going to claim him with that contract. Only a 6-day injury, only 2 weeks. Because you could move these guys to the 60-day disabled list, and they won't take up a 40-man spot. And that's exactly why we're over now, is we had a guy come back. Let's see. It's either going to be Grayson Griner or Ronnie Garcia. I have more depth at catcher. So, yeah, I don't care about Grayson Griner. He won't be cut. We just have to put him on waivers to remove him from the 40. So, you'll need to pass him through irrevocable waivers. Sure. And if someone wants him, cool. Now, let's see. Does that remove him from the 40? Or do I need to also designate him for assignment? So, we have 36. Yeah, no, we're good now. Alright, game time. Julio Teheran versus Casey Mize. Lucky for you, we're streaming the Casey Mize game. Angel Stadium, or as I call it, Mike Trout Stadium. It's so funny. I've never seen a stadium with like more advertising for one player. He's not fully rested, but just kind of haven't had an off day in a while as we approach the All-Star break. The Tigers have had a really, really long stretch of games here. Probably give some guys some time off today. Let's see who's kind of next in line. When we don't have a day off in the week, I try to rotate. So, Cameron Maybin or Victor Reyes. I guess Cameron Maybin is next in line, unless we're facing a lefty tomorrow. Let me just check that, because I'd rather actually sit him against a lefty. Lance McCullers is a righty, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. We'll just might even give them both the day off. Okay, let's jump back in. Casey Mize. Cameron Maybin's going to come out for Christian Stewart. I'll also give Austin Romine the day off. Miguel's going to play first today. I might even... Who else can we get in? I think that's going to be good. So, now batting second. Joe Adell's going to get one more day of batting second. No, actually, we'll do this. Alright, that's the lineup. Yeah, this Angels lineup's tough, no doubt. No doubt. Okay, I mentioned before, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. I'm going to turn off the commentary here. Yeah, I'm try. It's funny. Like I mentioned earlier, I have 3 times as many subscribers on my old YouTube channel. I have like a sticky video that talks about I'm now on this channel. So just trying to get people over here again, spreading the word just to do our part to help just improve franchise modes, really. And that's one of the whole reasons why we do the stream and why we talk about sliders and stuff like that, because I don't think we need to be mutually exclusive between the Ultimate Team modes and the franchise modes that a lot of us grew up playing, and truthfully have laid the groundwork for modes like Ultimate Teams to be successful. So, all right, so yeah, game time. But yeah, LA's been a really, really good team. I'm blown away that we shut them out yesterday. It's probably just going to be bad news for Mize today. But the Tigers could get back to just 10 games below 500. Consider that a success, I guess. There's Teheran, 95 innings pitched, 76 strikeouts, 1.41 whip. He pitched pretty well. He's 10-2. So his team has done well on the days he's been pitching.
Leading off tonight for
if we look at his repertoire there, 5 pitches, pretty standard repertoire. If I look at his ratings, it's pretty good, but he can be wild, so it's not a bad guy to take a pitch or so. He is a day player, so again, this is a pretty good matchup for the Angels. So we're going to take a pitch here. Alright, so it's a high strike call.
607.
I'm looking at, so we know they have Anderson Simmons on the bench here. Second baseman's pretty weak as I start thinking about potential places to try and drop a drag bunt down, maybe, but.
Ball.
Ooh, a slow breaking ball.
Ball. 2-1.
I tried to check my swing there. Had to protect on that. Good close. It wasn't a ball, but yeah, very close. Ooh. Boy, I don't know. Calling a high strike today.
Batting second, the third baseman, Harold Castro.
Yeah, I guess it was a strike.
No ball, 1 strike. No ball, 2 strikes.
Get up there. Good grief. 2 quick strikeouts.
Batting third, the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera.
Ryan asked this is the recent article you posted on the SimSports gaming site. I did my kind of top request for franchise mode. If you received more feedback, no, I haven't received any feedback actually. So no one has said good or bad about anything. So no, I haven't really heard that much of anything. So he's really up in the zone a lot today. He's cruising here in the first. Yep, strikes out the side. Yikes. Well, it's a good inning. The first 2 hitters are barely hitting 200 combined. Strange. Where's Jordy Mercer? Get Jordy Mercer in the game. There's Casey Mize making his 7th start. In real life yesterday, I saw a video. He faced Miguel Cabrera in a little scrimmage and struck him out in 3 pitches. I believe all 3 pitches were swings. First was a foul ball, and then 2 swings and misses. A lot of breaking pitches he threw to Cabrera. But, you know, I'm not expecting necessarily feedback on those articles. I mean, I mean, what's it matter, right? If people give me feedback, I don't make the game. I think it's just the idea of getting people talking about it. And that's what I've been trying to say at the beginning of the stream, of just, you know, the reasons to subscribe to this channel and to maybe get involved and do some writing for the site, or just sharing ideas on Twitter. It's just getting more of a spotlight on to franchise mode, because I just don't believe at all that they need to be completely exclusive from, you know, the Ultimate Team modes we see, Diamond Dynasty and so on.
Full count.
Love having Nico Goodrum at shortstop. It's one of the reasons I did want to move Jordy Mercer. As good of a player as he was for us. By the way, you want to talk about good, and you want to talk about Angels, you should see my out-of-the-park Angels in our SSG league. Far and away that we've got like 72% win percentage or something crazy right now. Just crazy right now. I don't want to jinx them. I just figured we had a pretty good team. We made the World Series last year and lost, but I figured we have a pretty good team coming back. But good grief. Love out-of-the-park baseball. Ryan's in our league. San Francisco Giants GM. No openings in that league, unfortunately. We are relocating the Miami Marlins to Vancouver. They will move to the American League West, I think we said. And I think we're moving, Houston's going to go to the National League Central, I think is what we discussed all this. We have it all lined up. I just forgot what we wrote down. So something like that.
Anthony.
Alright, so Rendon can pretty much hit everything else, really trying to keep guys off base. Mike Trout's got the day off today, it looks like, so that's helpful. Purposely wanted that out of the zone. He's a good fastball hitter there, as you can see. So I would like to throw him a little bit more breaking ball, especially if someone on base. Ooh, left that. Very lucky. Hit it right to us. Yeah, out of the park's a great game. I've seen, I know, like in the sim community, they've been taking a little bit of slack about, you know, they've been kind of maybe a little too focused on their perfect team mode and things like that. Truthfully, I can't comment at all on perfect team. I have barely touched it. During beta testing, I've done beta testing with that, with out of the park development since probably like 2008, so like 12 years. I dabbled with it a little bit just in testing. But it's just not a mode. I mean, I don't even play Diamond Dynasty. It's just those modes don't really capture me. I have said I wish they would let you create private Diamond Dynasty leagues, because like we would have an SSG one, for instance, where you could set up, and I want like commissioner options where like you can't have duplicate cards. So if I have Casey Mize, I'm the only one who has Casey Mize. If you have Mike Trout, you're the only one who has Mike Trout. And I want to limit it to like it's only live cards, or you could do like a historic league only, or even like a fictional league only, or something like that. Then it would be really cool because you could set up a 20 game schedule or something like that and just play a bunch of seasons where you'd still have like whatever starting point you're at. Mike Trout, after 5 years would be 33 years old or something like that. And you'd have players come in and you could just do a very, very simple draft, very, very simple off season. That would be so cool. I mean, that's really what they should do with their online league mode. Like, forget trying to, create a 162 game season. I mean, as much as I like that, like, no one's going to do that. Leave that to out of the park baseball and give us a private Diamond Dynasty League. I just think that'd be really, really cool. Yeah, and Ryan's commenting in the chat there, so if you're not able to check the chat, please do that. I guess that doesn't make sense. Check the chat. If you're not able to check the chat, I'm sorry, you can't check the chat. But yeah, just talking about some of the things in my article. International free agency, revamped scouting, coaching overhaul, deeper minors. I mean, a lot of things, honestly, you just see in out of the park baseball. So what did we do there? We got... Is that a ground out? I can't remember what happened there. Or no, it was a line out, so yeah. Pretty big lead here, so we're going to have to throw over. Boy, stealing is really, really hard this year. Really, really tough. So Justin Upton. Former Tiger having a hell of a year. Should be an all-star.
Ball. Playing 11. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ooh, yep. Not a good pitch. As soon as I let that go. Damn. Ryan, you already called up your first round draft pick? Are you talking about in our league? If I did out of the park videos though, I'd probably give away too many of my secrets. I mean, they're really not secrets. Just be attentive to your team. That's really it. I've been trying to promote that. And our out of the park league, the teams who've been really, really dominant over the years are the guys who are super active. They're checking the waiver wire every day. No, that was not a good pitch by Mize. But gotta shake it off. 2 runs is not the end of the world. Happens in the first inning, happens in the 6th inning. I mean, it's trying to keep it at, 4 or less, basically. So I don't really care when they get them. I just don't really have a ton of time to stream. I mean, I guess I do, technically. I just don't like spending my time streaming. I'm not in it to, I have a real job that I like a lot. I don't need to stream. I mean, I know some people are kind of motivated. Some of these videos I watch, especially the younger generation, maybe I'm just old, but like, it's just a lot of like fake energy, and it all kind of sounds the same, and it's not for me. I just like talking baseball. Yeah, initial setup. Yeah, I mean, there's a learning curve with the game for sure. But that's why I like our out of the park league. Is like it's just a daily sim. We sim 1 day at a time. It's really good to kind of get your feet wet. And I would probably say do that yourself. Like just sim 1 day at a time for a month or so, and you'll learn a lot about that game just kind of going slow. So let's try to not strike out. Behind the 8 ball here early, 2-0, but a lot of time. Oh, good grief. Chase that. Come on, Tigers. Get your head in the game here. Alright, 4 straight strikeouts to start the game.
That is it. The designated hitter.
Excuse me. In my throat. Probably just the early stages of COVID-19 or something. Peter Combs hit a couple home runs in this series. Total bombs too, like gappers.
That's the ball.
But Teheran, again, is going to be a hard guy to hit because of this day player quirk. And what I'm learning about the quirks, so like things about like where you see like the cheesy where they throw an effective fastball, or the illusionist change up. What I'm noticing is when you see those circles when you swing, right? You see like the coverage areas, like the sweet spot, the contact zone, and then there's like the actual making somewhat contact halo, like the secondary circle, what I'm seeing is that those quirks just either shrink or even eliminate that outside circle, mostly shrinking, right? And so day player, same kind of thing. I'm thinking that it's probably shrinking the zone of pretty much all my hitters, and that's where you're seeing some more swings and misses here. Is that just that quirk is kind of making him a little bit sharper, a little bit more intense of a pitcher to hit. But he is wild, so let's see if he puts his first base runner on there. Gets the call. This umpire is very friendly to Tehran today. So you can see that, right? So if you look at where that sweet spot is, that shrunk. I mean, that should have been a pretty nice hit. But if you look here, right, look how small that got. At least this, now maybe, I don't think the outside shrunk at all, but I'm betting that quirk shrunk that a little bit. And some of that's just CJ Cron is kind of a feast or famine hitter. But that's smaller than what CJ Cron's contact area, the darker yellow circle is usually. And I'm betting that quirk has made an impact on that. I'm certain it has.
No, down.
Okay, Autumn Park's a great game. Front Office Football, another really, really great game. If I know we're not really talking football today, but hey, football season's hopefully approaching, somewhat of a football season. Madden's going to be out next month. We have openings in our Front Office Football League. It's fun. It admittedly is not the prettiest of games, but it's probably a better simulator even than Out of the Park Baseball. The sim engine is just ridiculously accurate. It is a lot of fun. And we have a handful, there's probably 4 teams or so open in that league. And of course, same thing, daily sim. That's a really fun like secondary league to be in because it's only once a week. We do like a midweek update where like if you wanted to sign free agents to get your export in by Wednesday, set your lineup and so on, and then we sim the games on Sundays. And we have a pretty big hiatus right now as we just finished, like we're in training camp at this point. And we'll be starting the preseason obviously in August. So, but yeah, you can check that out. That's a really, really fun league. I've been in that for a number of years too. So. Yeah, Madden added essentially nothing. I'm glad people are getting their attention, but I still have fun with Madden. I'm planning to do a stream with Madden. I don't think I want to do an online league this year. I just don't like the competitiveness of it. It's just a little too cutthroat. But ooh, that was a good pitch to hit. Yeah, so even his changeup's just changeup sharper. Ooh.
Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
.28 pitch coming up here from Tehran. Nobody on base yet. That's not too bad. Ooh, just got a piece of that one. Nico hanging in there. Oh yeah, I could definitely be. Nico's been much improved. I really like him being our full-time shortstop. Still 28 years old. He's not young necessarily, but really, really good defender. Most importantly, he buys us some time to develop something at shortstop. He'll definitely be our shortstop next year, I'm thinking. At the very least, he's a great utility player. Speaking of performing well, there we go. Stay back on that curveball. A really nice at bat. Gets him up to 31 pitches. There's power at 4, right? Just struck it really well, and it's just a single. Nothing crazy. Not going over the wall. Oh, just couldn't stay back on that. I don't really like Nico as a leadoff hitter. Maybe against lefties. He's only got like a 40-something contact against righties.
Down, ball.
I use Nico to pretty much protect left-handed hitters in the lineup. We don't have a ton. I actually don't like left-handed hitters. I like to try and build my team with a lot of righties because a lot of teams like to build with lefty pitchers, and go ahead. Because your righty hitters can usually hit righty pitchers just fine most of the time. It's the lefty hitters who struggle a lot against lefty hitters, and that's when you start needing platoon players. And I'd rather, you have a few platoons here and there. You want to have a little bit of a balance, but I like building around right-handed hitting. That's just how I like to build a team personally.
Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Oh man, I just can't stay back on that slider. Ooh, good grief. Getting all the calls. A lot of strikeouts so far. 5 through 2 innings. Yikes. Yeah, see, I don't like speed and steal numbers in my leadoff hitter. I don't want him stealing in front of my best hitters. That's an old, like, if you look, again, there's a lot of statistical evidence that says you should not be stealing in front of your best hitters. So your best base runner, your kind of quote-unquote traditional leadoff hitter, should bat 6. Because your worst hitters, 7, 8, 9, all they're typically doing is hitting singles. But that can produce runs if you're able to get that 6 hitter in the scoring position with a stolen base or 2. If you're stealing in front of your best hitters, I mean, it's unnecessary risk. Those guys can drive those runs in, even with the guy standing on first base. And so I would challenge you to look into kind of, again, my proof is in my out-of-the-park baseball team. I mean, I apply that to that team, for instance. We don't have speed. I don't give a damn how fast my leadoff hitter is. And that just goes back to like some of the basic Moneyball principle stuff. I mean, that's like literally a chapter right out of Moneyball. So yeah, it's nothing necessarily new, but
The pitcher, Jason Castro. Too low.
Ooh, hit hard, but you're right at Jonathan Scope.
Batting in, the right fielder, Jared Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see, I'm a Tiger fan, right? So I remember back to the 2003 season, the year the Tigers lost a record number of games. They had like a guy like Andres Torres. I mean, guy could run like none other, super fast. They put him in the leadoff spot. He couldn't hit worth a damn. Like, you need to get on base. I mean, it doesn't matter how fast you are. You just have a bunch of track stars. I mean, it just doesn't do anything. All right, good inning. Still under 30 pitches for Casey Mize. Not really getting strikeouts today. I think he's got just the 1 so far, but a much better inning. He's only made 1 mistake, and unfortunately, it led to a 2-run home run. Hey, Christian Stewart getting the start after a huge 2-run home run in the ninth last night to give the Tigers a 2-0 win. Obviously, you can try to take advantage of this, especially with nobody on base. Or I should say, with no outs. And nobody on base. They wouldn't be playing that shift if there was a guy on first.
No. 1. Yeah.
That's a good pitch. Oh my gosh. 6 strikeouts already. Good grief.
Batting 9, the catcher, number 13.
Appreciate you guys tuning in to watch. No, I'm not doing auto fielding. I am now using manual. It's been working well. It's been fun. Alright, so here is Eric Haas, not much with the bat. Just look for something to try and square up. Ooh, that was a good pitch to square up, but he stay back as usual. Look how small his zone is. Oh, good grief. Oh, now that one was behind. I thought that was another changeup. I dipped the cursor down there. Put a contact swing here. Hey, at least we didn't strike out. Great contact swing. I just don't want this pitcher to get too confident. He's probably already there. I think it's weird that it shows his confidence for the opponent. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing. Come on, Tiger.
Ball. We're playing 11. 1-1. Ball 2. No. 3 balls, 2 strikes, down is full. Ball 4.
There we go. Talked about that before the stream. Get a few more base on balls out of Reyes.
Now batting, third baseman, Harold.
Get on base.
Castro.
That's all I want out of a leadoff guy. Just so happens he does have some nice speed and run around the bases. I mean, that never hurts, right? Because you get some hitters up who can hit some gaps. Really, the Tigers, what I'm liking right now is just and I thought Joe Adell could slide into that, but so far he's struggled a little bit. But just getting a really productive number 2 hitter, which they say is probably your second most important hitter after your cleanup guy. We just don't have a ton of guys I feel comfortable putting in that spot. I mean, we don't really have any dominant hitters. So again, just trying to find good matchups, you know, a little bit of a lefty-righty split, that kind of thing, finding good matches. So, but if he can find a gap, which he just did, could score a run. But that's a really nice job of getting over and getting to that ball, saves the run.
Now batting.
I've had really good success hitting the other way with Harold Castro. And probably our most clutch hitter up here, a couple guys in scoring position.
Ball. 1-0.
Ooh, good fly.
Playing 11. Two balls, 1 strike.
Good pitch. Oh, damn it. Right at him. Yeah, we can do that, Ryan. I don't know. I remember we said he might be close towards the end of the season. Sure, you're probably checked now, right? He doesn't have many hits this game, so it shouldn't interfere. Uh, oh, but I can't switch to his career stats here. But somebody could probably look it up. So if someone just Google searches like where is he at in his career right now, and just add 93 hits to it. I think we had to get to like 150 or 175 or something like that. Because he's got 93 here. So yeah, somebody check that real quick. Because again, he's got 93, which is a nice number towards the All-Star break. But again, that's beyond the halfway mark, so it's not like a 200 hit season or anything.
And leading up for the Angels, the center fielder, Brandon Mark.
Yeah. 0-1.
So he's at 2,815. That's where he's at currently. So then add what 93 to that, right? Right. So I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get there or not. It'd be really close.
Tie. Ball. We're playing 11. 1-1.
Yeah, he'd have to get really, really hot. Tell you what, though, I have a lot of line drive. You just saw one. I have a ton of line drive outs with Miguel Cabrera. So, you know, statistically speaking, those should start turning into hits. So he might have a better second half. Ooh, better way to play it.
Ball.
Yeah, he should, unless he retires or something.
The first baseman, number 7.
Yeah, he's in super good shape right now. He's always a bigger guy, you know. So like people are like, oh, yeah, he's definitely has got a lot leaner. Yeah, I love Miguel Cabrera, man. He's been my favorite Tiger to ever watch play.
Ball.
And like I said, for me, like I don't get wrapped up in the personal lives of people. I mean, you know, obviously something like incredibly criminal, and you know, and he has like there's been some domestic violence and stuff in his past, and but as far as like you know, I don't know some of the stuff going on with, you know, maybe not being the world's greatest husband. I don't mean to say I don't care, but I've tried to separate that out. Like I watch him as a baseball player. I don't watch him as like a role model for my life or my marriage or you know what I mean. I'm hoping that makes sense. I'm not trying to excuse behavior or say like, well, you know, there's a lot of athletes who are in positions. I don't know. If I was a professional athlete, I just don't think I would bother getting married. Like Derek Jeter kind of did it right. He got married after he retired. I don't know. We're all human, you know. I mean, you know, those are temptations that are probably well beyond what the average person sees on a daily basis or what have you. So, oh, that's cool. What did your dad do that he worked with Miguel Cabrera? It's kind of random. I know he has like that like candy company or something. Like Miggy Bites or something. I forget what they're even called. Nice hit. Let's do it and get that ball back in. That's the strangest cutoff position I've ever seen. This was in my my little write-up too on some sports gaming, talking about just the weird cutoffs. Like, I mean, so you know, he's cutting it off here, going to third, right? Which, is this a threat? Is this even a threat of a triple? I mean, not at all, right? And even if it is, he's halfway, beyond halfway into the outfield or so. Like, why is the cutoff right here? So if this runner slips and falls, for instance, which they won't do in the game, but in real life, he's going to make the throw from here? Now, Nico's got a pretty good arm, but, like, you're talking about an infielder here. Like, that cutoff should be, like, you know, here, right? Ish. And possibly even, you know, here. I mean, it's not even close where he's at. Look where he ends up going. Like, what on earth? I just want to get a screenshot of this, because this is just ridiculous. That's where the cutoff is. So, you know, just, I don't mean to use their own little tagline against them, but like little things. I mean, that's just silly. But a 2-out double here with a really, really good hitter up. We need to take a look at this. Come on, let's go. X out of this crap. Oh, but they got Justin Upton on deck, so really just making things more difficult. I guess we just try to go after him. There we go. Just gotta make good pitches.
Ball.
Oh my gosh, wow. That's the closest foul ball I've probably seen in this game. That was scary. There we go. Got Miguel. Yeah, Pete Rose's moral compass is an interesting compass to follow. Oh, that's cool, Daniel. Yeah.
Leading off for the Tigers, the second baseman, Jonathan Jones.
Casey Mize is keeping us in this. We have to start getting. We had some better at bats last inning. Oh gosh, another. I just can't stay back on his breaking pitches. We can hit Tehran. We're just having trouble adjusting his timing.
No. Playing 11, 1-1.
But really, the key is still Casey Mize trying to keep this within 2 runs.
Ball.
Guys, I appreciate you watching the stream today. It's fun to chat baseball with everyone. I'm getting excited for baseball. I don't mean to be pessimistic. I don't think they're going to get this season played. I mean, just being realistic about it, I don't know. I mean, they're really making a strong effort. But I just, you know, just using simple probability. I mean, I don't know. But I'm excited because, I mean, a 60-game season, hell, my crummy Tigers have a shot. It's just fun. It's just be fun to watch something. Isn't NHL starting this weekend or something? I need to try and watch some of that. And then the Red Wings got fully effed. There's a home run. "21 home runs, Jonathan Scope." I don't even think I finished my swing. I knew that was a home run. And Tehran, you're leaving a lot of stuff over the plate. You've just been fouling it off. But that's why it's so important for Casey Mize, right? Just keeping this a 2-run game. Yeah, Top Cat, you're right. I mean, just the 2-man cutoff, which, I mean, you don't even need a 2-man cutoff. Like, these are professional baseball outfielders. Christian Stewart can make that throw. It's just, the spot. Like, I mean, he's better just to throw it straight to second base at that point. I'm just getting caught up on the chat here. Yeah, I've heard a couple things about vaccine. There's a company here in San Diego. I forget what they're called. I know they're getting pretty close. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's weird because like normally with a vaccine, like it would go into like a couple years of testing. So, long-term effects, right? Like, what if there's a vaccine and you take it today, and 5 years later we find out that it causes lung cancer or something crazy, right? So I mean, really, like it's dangerous. I mean, it's really really a weird thing. And then the fact, so let's just say, I mean, it's probably not going to be until like 21 when you get a vaccine, and then for an average schmuck like me, it's going to take me months to probably get my hands on one. Um, so I don't know. It's an interesting time, man. I'm really bummed at like how political it's gotten. Like, it's really strange because I grew up in Michigan. I follow some of the Michigan news, and I live in San Diego now, and obviously it's a very very different. It's interesting to kind of get these different. I don't even want to call them angles, just the way the reporting is done. Because I don't think all journalism is bad at all. I mean, my wife's technically, she went to grad school for journalism, and there's a lot of good out there. And I just think the stuff that gets pushed to the top, whether it's Twitter or what, I mean, it's just the stuff that gets us, fighting with each other. And regardless, I just, for any topic, man, it's just a bummer that like it turns political, where like people fight and like we take a stance on like things like masks, or like whether it's real, or it's like, listen, like, can't we really just need to drop the political part of it and be like, truthfully, nobody knows. This looks like it's a big deal. Could it be overblown? I don't know. I would doubt it. It seems pretty in either way. Like, don't we just want to be careful? And like, to me, it's just like, this should be something that tries to bring like this divide together of being like, hey, I disagree with my neighbor, but damn, I want to take care of my neighbor, man. Like, I don't want to get this person sick. Like, my neighbor's got his, my neighbor's probably, one of my neighbors is, I mean, all my neighbors are older. They're all retired. But our one neighbor has got his mom living with him, and she's like 90 something. Like, and I do think about that sort of stuff. Like, I don't want to, go to the beach here and come back and expose him who exposes his mom. And so to me, at the end of the day, it's just like, just try. And I think it's even my Twitter handle, or my like Twitter bio just says, just like, just be good to each other, man. Like, why is this stuff so politicized? It's just, and I don't care. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because like before all of this stuff, like, I mean, I've lived in all kinds of different parts of the country: Chicago, Austin, Texas. Grew up in Michigan, California. Um, and so you encounter a lot of different. I mean, living in Austin alone, right? It's like this. They call it a blue dot in a red state. I mean, it's the capital of Texas, but it's like this super liberal college town. It's such a weird spot. But you learn, like, one of the coolest things I learned about living in Austin was just like people got along, man. Like, people were cool with each other. Like, you didn't care. Like, they could be told, and I for 100% fact know I had buddies who, I mean, we did not see eye to eye politically, but it was cool, man. Like, we were fine. Like, we coexisted. We hung out. We partied together. We played golf together. Like, it was fine, right? And anyway, I'm just somewhat of a tangent here, but it's just, I think it's important to talk about sometimes, and not on any political side of it, just saying, dude, like, let's just be better to each other, and that's it, man. Just, and like, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm excited for baseball to start, is that like, hey, it gives us something else to kind of focus on. And I get, like, this is a really really challenging time, regardless of, I mean, everyone's dealing with something, whether it's something as simple as, hey, I'm just fucking bored, down to, hey, I had a family member who died. Um, my wife, I've mentioned before, she's Navajo, right? So her family, she grew up in the suburbs and stuff her whole life, but her family originally is from the reservation, Navajo reservation, and they've had multiple family members died from this thing. I mean, confirmed. This isn't like, oh, like, dead, man, dead. And so like this, the whole range of like stuff people are dealing with. There's a big range of it, and it's just, it's hard, man. It's just hard. And I'll end this rant just by saying, I just hope we can be better to each other, and just try to, God, man, just don't let everything get wrapped up in the politics. And it's hard. I get it's hard. So anyway, I've probably driven away all my viewers now. Um, yeah, Tom, I mean, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even, same thing. It's just, it sounds silly, but it's like, where do you, like, I've been getting my news from like Reddit, because it's just like, all right, whatever. Like, this is just people kind of sharing a bunch of different stuff, and it's like, all right. Like it's hard. It's really hard to find stuff that's not biased. Um, yeah, Top Cat. I think you and I have talked to somebody on here saying they live in Austin. And Ryan's got an perspective he's sharing from living in Morocco. He says the masks here in Morocco are not even a question. It's just seen as an accepted way to reduce risk. Yeah, right. I mean, that's how it should be. Like, I don't know. Are masks going to fix everything? No. Are they going to at least help? It seems like it. So, like, don't we just want to? It'd be like us fighting over sunscreen, right? Like, oh, I'm not going to wear sunscreen. Like, I refuse to be told what to do. Like, dude, like, it's going to help prevent skin cancer, though. Like, don't you just want to put some of that on? Like, just in case? But like, we don't fight over sunscreen. It's so crazy to me. Um, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, Ryan, you're not missing much. Stay in Morocco. It seems cool. I'm sure it's pretty hot right now. But other than that, I mean, it seems like a cool spot. Anyway, where are we at? Fourth inning. We're down by a run. Tigers could get back into this here. Could if we win today, we take 3 out of 4 against a really good LA team. It's got a little cut to it. This score scene. Ooh, yep. There's that cut again. If there was guys on base, I would have probably tried to hit that to right field, especially because they play. Ooh, they're not playing a shift. Usually they play a slanted shift here. A little pull shift against Crone. That should be a walk. He's getting a lot of calls today. Oh, I guess that is a strike. Ooh, I got underneath that. I thought that was a slider. A lot better at bats lately for the Tigers. Oh, damn, how did I miss that? I thought that was back to back. Maybe that day player quirk coming into play there.
Now batting, the shortstop,
110. Ooh, good grief. Yeah, I remember Austin getting like that in the summers. I don't think it was ever 110, but it was definitely like 109, 106. I'd be excited if it was 99 or less. I'd be like, oh, I could almost take the dog for like 10 minutes without dying. Nico, a real nice single last time up again. If I can wait on a pitch and I get something to hit the left, I can try. But at the end of the day, I don't think too much about that. It's more just, I just want to make solid contact. I want to make excellent contact.
2-1.
And just, try to hit it to where the pitcher's giving it to you. Oh, that was close. That one I probably could have hit the left. I probably should have tried. Got Nico single and a walk today. He's had 2 really good at bats. They're both really, really long at bats.
Now batting, the center fielder, Joe.
76 pitches already in the 4th. Could be a spot where you look to steal, maybe.
Ball, no. 1 ball, no strike. Ball 2.
Oh, good grief. Really? Another strikeout.
Now batter, number 14.
Oh my gosh.
No ball. 2
Come on,
strikes.
Christian Stewart.
It's going. It's going.
I have not considered turning up solid contact. I think the set's playing really well right now. No, I'm probably I don't think it needs to move at all, but I would probably move it lower before I moved it up. But I think it's just fine where it's at. I do want we're in a winter coat, California, in July. I like how this first place team, by the way, doesn't have sellouts, but my crummy Tigers are always sold out. Let's see how many people are in the stands. Oh, I guess it is. I guess that's okay. Second place team, I guess. I don't know. Good pitch, Casey Nyes.
Ball.
I don't know, maybe his second strikeout. This is his first strikeout. Yeah, not striking a ton of guys out, but
Second baseman,
pretty well. The Peanut Lady has been in quite a few games. I'm sure she's in the crowd somewhere. She just looks so weird in Comerica, because like the way the net goes over her face, she almost looks like deformed. It's just, yeah, it's kind of wild. It's like distracting almost.
No. 1-0.
Oh yeah, the pretzel lady, you're right. Ryan, what are the travel restrictions for Morocco right now?
Ball 2.
I mean, I know they're not letting our dirty asses in. Scummy Americans. That is so embarrassing, by the way. Like, we're one of, like, 2 or 3 countries that no one's letting in. Ugh. It's like, my buddy put it last. He's like, we're the stinky kid in class, right? You remember back to, like, elementary school, where you'd have, like, the kid who, like, just always stunk kind of bad or something. Like, he's like, that's what we are right now to the world. Like, we're the stinky kid in class. Wow, it's so bad. So embarrassing.
No, that's the ball.
And like, again, there's no political slant in that. Like, that's what's happening. Like, we are not allowed.
Ball. That's down.
Every single country pretty much in Europe, we are not allowed And that has, nothing to do with our own politics here. I mean, that's just, we're the sneaky kid in class. It's so true. It's a perfect analogy.
Now batting. The catcher.
Okay, so it looks like Morocco's opening up mid-July here. Yeah, because I know that you were saying before, you and I have talked about, trying to see family and stuff throughout the year, and yeah, that'd be really tough. It's a big at-bat here. Good hitter in Jason Castro. But this lineup is not, you don't really want to pitch around too much because they have a lot of power. I mean, anybody can hit a home run, so.
Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Good pitch. Yeah, tastes nice. You can see it. Well, yeah, just this whole lockdown. I mean, trying to find projects to do around the house, working in the yard. I definitely don't wear a winter coat when I'm working in the yard in Southern California. I'm gonna have a heart attack. It's pretty hot here this weekend. Eric Haas, definitely the best beard on the team. Probably the only beard on the team.
Number 13.
I guess Michael Fulmer's got a beard. Good game today.
No, outside.
Yeah, good pitch. Better hitter, I would have tried to swing at that, but boy, he's kind of small. We're going to go contact swing again. Let's put it in play. That's alright, he's in for his defense.
Now batting. Right fielder.
Put the ball in play, especially they got a backup shortstop in. Never know. Man on base, I'm not taking a contact swing there. Could this be a time to bunt here? We haven't seen his pitches better though, and he's getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna let him swing.
No, that's the ball. 1 ball, no strike. Ball. 2-0 to 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch all the Tiger games I can. I don't know. I'm not trying to be pessimistic either. I'm just trying to be realistic about it. I would be shocked if the season lasts 2 weeks. Nice pitch. 93 pitches here in the 5th. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, truly, I hope. Because I would like to watch. I mean, I think a 60-game season is exciting. Could this be something baseball switches to down the road? Like, what if they did something like with the minors, where they play 2 60-game seasons, and you take the best record in each, and you make a playoff bracket? I mean, that's essentially what the minor leagues do. That's gonna go through. That would be really cool. Eric Castro, man, he's just singles machine.
The first baseman, Miguel Cabrera.
See, that's why I don't want to mess with the solid contact. That shouldn't be a laser, and it shouldn't be an out. Getting tired, see if he makes a mistake.
Ball.
I remember the day of the Tigers traded for Mel Cabrera. I was in the middle of a grad school class. My phone started going crazy. I was so pumped. That's done. Actually, at least in the gap. Stay in. That'll score a run. Tie game. There we go. Finally, Miguel Cabrera gets rewarded with good contact. See power at 4. I like it. It's a well-hit ball into the gap. It's not a home run every time. I'm just hitting way too many home runs, and I know some others would as well, so I like it at 4. I'll stay back on that slider, and that's the end of Teheran. It was a mistake pitch. Right over the plate. Pretty sure it was a slider. He was pretty sharp though, but he's either sharp or he wasn't. There was like no in between with him. Yeah, that was a slider, as you could see there.
Number 24.
Yeah, you can see there the contact. Slider, right over the middle. 2 outs, Cabrera on second. Curveball, primary pitch. Good matchup for Stoke, who likes hitting breaking pitches.
Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jeez Louise. Oh, foul balls counted as runs. Easy. Doing really well today. Yeah, 2 strikes. Got a solid swing on it. Power at 5, that probably was a home run, but I don't know, even close. But I like how that played. 2-2.
And leading up for the Angels, the right fielder, Jared Wolf.
It's a nice pitch count, a little inflated, nothing too crazy. Love to try and get 6 innings out of him. Let's go to the splitter here.
Ball. Ball.
It'll be my last start for the All-Star break, so if we can push him a little bit, we can. Of course, you gotta be careful with injuries. But he should at least get us through this inning. And it'll probably be a case of a very short leash in the 6th. We'll see.
Ball. 1-2.
Yeah, he's been pitching well.
The first baseman, Eric.
Again, that's why I always say when you're losing, especially early, people get so focused, over-focused on hitting, and I still say that pitching is really where you need to focus the most. Keep that 2 runs.
Ball. Playing 12. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's play Nico. Not sure if Jordy Mercer makes that play. That's big, because their power bats are up next, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to let my pitch against those guys. And this is where I talked about Alex Wilson kind of being a really nice righty setup guy. In the sixth, he's pretty good at limiting home runs, 65. Notice his was a 50 home runs per 9. We looked outside of the game. When we looked in a game, it's at 48 for some reason. Not trusting him here. So yeah, if we go to somebody, it would be, you know, I mean, really, lefties can be a better matchup against some of these guys, like Justin Upton. But no, we go Alex Wilson. So, get him ready just in case. CJ Crone up.
Ball.
A lot of success in his career against Lowe Ramirez here. Oh, just like that. Nice play. He's slow enough to get it done.
The batter, the shortstop, Nico Woodruff.
Man, I hope we see Jordy Mercer. I'm kind of bummed. I haven't seen him yet. Or Biscayne. I haven't seen either guy.
No.
I'm going to try my best to hit something in left field. Try to get to second base with 1 out. Feels like anything in play should get it done. Gotta stay back though, especially against on a pull hitter.
Playing 11.
Yeah, that wasn't close.
Hey.
Alright, well, gotta take what I can get now. Oh, not sure how I missed that. Seems too early.
Now batting, the center fielder, Joe Adele.
Ball. 1-1. Outside. Ball 2.
Oh, it's going way under that.
Playing 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well,
And leading up for the Angels, the shortstop, David Fletcher.
Yep. Ball 1.
I'd love to get Casey Knight one more batter here.
Anthony Rendon.
But the best hitter. Ooh, he's in the red now, so that might do it. It's tough though. Oh, geez, I don't know, because I really don't want a lefty pitching to Rendon. He's pitched really well against righties. Lefty could actually get him in a lot of trouble. See, I would love for Mize. I don't want to risk injury. I don't know. Not when he's in the red. So this is a really tough call. I think I'm gonna go with Ramirez. So I'm gonna do a mound visit here. Gosh, no. I'm gonna go Alex Wilson.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for
Obviously, this is tougher now with the new rules, so otherwise I'd have done Wilson for a batter and then brought in Ramirez, but can't do that. There we go. I'm at least comfortable with this matchup, so we'll cross each bridge as we come to it. No, 2 outs definitely helps. I was almost expecting, was it Fletcher, the guy before, to get on base or something. Or if he hit a double, I was just going to walk. I would have walked Rendon and then brought in the lefty, but... Ooh, boy. That's not a good pitch.
Ball. Ball. No. 2-1. No. Ball 4.
No, not really touching the blue, but...
now back, second baseman, Tommy Rosella.
Ball. Two balls, 1 strike. Push. Full count.
Dangerous here. He'll be running. Could score easily on a double.
Ball 4.
Now back, the designated hitter, Brian Goodwin.
Lexington hit 373 against him? Is that for real?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Tigers, number 63, Nick Ramirez.
Ball. 1 ball, no strike. Ah! Ball. 3 high. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
All right, let's hit it. Eric Haas still looking for his first hit. I bet he'll get us this inning though.
Leading off to Detroit.
So let's see, what do we want to do
Number
here?
14.
Probably just leave in Ramirez, give Savannah a break. Yeah, seems to be what we'll do. Shift. Could be a time to bunt here.
The batter.
Bunt right
Number
in.
13.
It was terrible. I don't really have any pinch runners either. Not worth taking someone out. What's that answer? One of the 7th, so 1 run doesn't guarantee a whole lot.
No ball, 1 strike.
Plus, I said he was going to get his first hit. Just you watch.
That's the ball. Playing 11, 1-1.
What was I just saying? It's a pretty good time to have your first hit.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Angels. Number 39, Justin Anderson. Now back, right fielder, Victor Reyes.
Yep. Ball. 20-12, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now batter, the third baseman, Harold
I
Castro.
just don't really think Cedeno can pitch today. Otherwise, obviously would love to bring him in. I don't know, I'm not going to bother. He's pretty gassed.
Ball. 1-0.
And that home run was with power at 4.
Now batting, the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera.
Be a big inning here. See if Nick Ramirez can fill in the setup role. Hey, if we win this game, we're 6-3 this month.
And leading up for the Angels, the catcher,
Ball.
Jason.
1 ball. No strike.
Next for the Angels, the right fielder, Jared Lowe.
He's out. 0-1. Ball.
Now back.
Well,
Center fielder, Brandon.
it's 2 issues here.
Ball. Outside.
Up next for the Angels, the first baseman, Eric Salcedo. Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Tigers.
Pretty big spot. He only pitched a few innings this season, and he just dropped his glove. Pretty nervous. Oh, see if you can get a strikeout here.
Ball. 1-0. No. 2-1. Ball 3. Hey. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count.
Beautiful. Take this best pitch. Gets the strikeout.
Up next for the Angels, the shortstop,
Two options exist here. With Rendon on deck, obviously we need to go after this guy. Very good pitch. Ooh, what was that?
Ball. 2 strikes.
Ooh, good job, Tiger bullpen. That brings up Tony for the 8th. We're in good shape. But the good hitters come up next inning. Look how that's the replay. See, that's a good reaction. Some of these reactions are so over the top. That's not bad. Subtle, right? Subtlety's good. Still looks good.
Leading off from the front, the second baseman, Jonathan.
So, yeah, that's going to definitely be the matchup. Yeah, I mean, Cedeno could even be in the discussion, but he's pretty tired, so. Who do we got here? Oops. Ryan Bucker in the pitch. Pretty good pitcher. Oh, good grief.
No ball. 2 strikes. Ball.
Oh, gosh. 3 pitches, pretty much the same thing. 2 sliders, cutter, everything breaking in. Good pitches. Especially against a team that's been super early today. Snacks. I do like snacks. But who doesn't like snacks? It's like a sign that says stuff.
Ball.
Cool stuff.
2 balls. 1 strike. Playing speed. 2-2.
Oh my gosh. Just throwing the same pitches.
Now batting, the shortstop, Nico Goodrum.
Nico, pretty good contact hitter against lefties. That's not a good swing.
Ball. Playing 11. 1-1.
Power at 4, still 2 home runs today.
Ball 2. 2-1. Ball. 3 balls. 1 strike.
See if Nico can get on for the 3rd time today. My wife's making me feel very guilty. She keeps walking by, she had a bunch of cleaning supplies. And now she just walked by with her yoga mat. And I'm just sitting playing video games. And scrub. Oh, and I just struck out again. You guys get to potentially watch Joe Jimenez try to close out a game. It's a wild ride. It is not like having Vizcaino. I wonder if we'll see Vizcaino on the ninth.
And leading up for the Angels,
Should.
the third baseman, Anthony
Hi, Buck Farmer.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
I have Trout as a pinch hitter, so I need to keep that in mind.
Number 45, Buck Farmer.
Just gonna throw this one out the zone.
No, that's down.
Got that first pitch hitter quirk, so try to at least get rid of one of those quirks. There's probably going to be, there we go, let's say a bunch of sliders. I've struck them out a few times this series, and just really heavy sliders. Yeah, Trout's lurking. As long as we keep guys off base, I mean, you can't kill us. Even with a guy in base, you can't kill us. Just tie it.
High. No ball. One strike.
So push back here.
Ball. We're playing 11. One ball, one strike.
Great pitch.
Playing 12.
The
One,
Farmer's
two,
pretty
together.
sharp today.
Ball. 2-2.
Even that, like that pitch reaction, that's just an overreaction. Just doesn't look good. Like that's an end of the game reaction, right? All-star second baseman here, most likely.
Right.
Going right after these guys. He's way out of the zone here.
Ball. Ball.
Just barely got a piece there. Let's get this last one. And some training for Buck Farmer. Could be Joe Jimenez time in the ninth. Could be Eric Haas time again.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Angels, number 31.
Come on, man. No Vizcaino. Not going to pitch him the whole series?
Leading off for Detroit, the center fielder,
Vizcaino's a little tired.
Adele.
Almost make the argument to bring in Cedeno, but I've seen the same relief pitchers from these guys pretty much. I mean, they're pretty good. No Vizcaino. Wow, where am I going with that one?
Ball. No.
Now batting, number 14.
Or not. What the hell? That's clearly a foul ball. And wasn't that a foul ball? I guess not. Second home run in 2 days.
Now batting, number 13.
3 home runs with power at 4.
Ball 1.
Good grief. 2 hits, 3 hits for Christian Stewart in the last 9 innings, basically. Pinch hitter last night. He's got 2 ninth-inning home runs in the last 2 days.
Play 11.
I mean, hell, if we score again, then they're going to bring in him and then let him rest.
No.
And see, again, another reason that you don't need to increase the solid contact slider. You just need to make more solid contact.
Playing 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'll let him swing there. I didn't do a contact swing that time. I feel like he deserved it.
Up next for the Tigers, the right fielder.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was a foul ball.
Reyes.
They didn't review it or anything. Screw that, I'll take it. Stupid AI. Tigers trying to crawl back to 10 games below 500.
0-1.
6-3 so far in July if they win.
Ball. 1-1.
Yeah, he's been pretty hot. So they could just kind of muscle the ball through.
Now batting.
Probably try and steal here. 2 out. Fast round back.
Your attention, please.
So let's see what we got here.
Number 40, Jacob. Ball.
Ooh. But I was only going to swing if it was right down the middle. Was it ever?
No ball, 2 strikes.
Not really a good spot to steal. He throws pretty hard, so.
Ball.
Good pitch. Alright, Joe Jimenez time. Christian Stewart and his weird foul ball home run. Whatever, I hit so many damn hard foul balls. Let's see, we'll get a good look at it here. Oh yeah, I guess it did hook around. Ah, it's still in front of the pole, didn't it? Let's get a good look at that. That was super weird. Tigers, 9th inning. Christian Stewart.
And leading off.
And this is just bizarre. I don't know how to zoom out better on this, but let's see. The hell's the ball? It's really hard to tell. You can't like raise your elevation, can you? Not replay. I don't want to record a movie. What's going on? Try the best of it and get it. Where'd the ball go? I mean, isn't that's clearly a foul ball, right? Oh, whatever. I'll take it. 6 for 6 in saves. Look at that. Knock on wood, the Tigers haven't had a blown save all year. We also haven't had many opportunities. I guess that's not true. I know 25 saves before we traded him.
Ball.
Right at Georgia. One out. I don't think there's any defensive subs I need to make. I mean, Candelario at third I could do. Yeah, we'll do that one at least. Maybe not on White Rass.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. This change defensively for the Tigers. Now playing third base. Number 46.
That's what we don't want, base runners. Like I said, it's always a ride. And Joe Jimenez is closing out games. It's kind of like if you're a Tiger fan. Jose Valverde days. Man on first and second, or second and third, with one out. One-run game, and he somehow gets the save. It's just craziness.
Ball.
Good job, Nico. Way to recover. That was a weird play, but again, file it under. I don't care. Have to win. Tigers. I like how we're on a roll and we're still 10 games below 500. It's like I feel like I'm suddenly competing for a playoff spot. It's like, oh, wait a second. Not really. Is Eric Haas going to get player of the game? That's what we need to stick around and see. I think you got to give it to Eric Haas. Come on. I think Ramirez got a beard too. We didn't sweep the Angels. We lost the first game. It was a 4-game series. We took 3 out of 4. Joe Jimenez making it look easy. Player of the game, Christian Stewart.
Here now is our final line.
Well, let's take a look. This was a pretty... we have so many strikeouts today. It's crazy. It's funny because, again, the beauty of the sliders are the beauty of the game, too. We did not have... Sorry, I gotta have so many windows open on my phone. I need to find the batting average ball play one. I didn't have a ton of strikeouts yesterday, so again, it just kind of balances out. Let's see, batting average ball and play calculator. FueledBySports.com, that's the one I like using. So we will calculate the Tigers here first. We had 36, I think ours actually be a little bit low, because we had a lot of home runs. 9 hits. We had 3 home runs. Sacrifice flies, none. Strikeouts, 14. Actually, ours was 316, so the strikeouts brought that up. They didn't have a ton of outs put in play. So, even with a lot of the home runs, 314 is pretty good. Just 2 walks, 14 strikeouts for the Tigers. Nobody struck out 3 times, just across the board. Casey Mize, 5 1/3, 3 strikeouts. Gave up 2 runs in the first and settled down. Bullpen did a great job. So against a top offensive team, we gave up 2 runs the last 2 days against them. Only 5 strikeouts. They put the ball in play quite a bit. But Joe Jimenez, back-to-back saves. Very, very nice. Let's check their batting average ball in play here. So they had 33 at-bats. They had 7 hits. They had 1 home run in the first inning. No sacrifice flies. And only 5 strikeouts. So their batting average ball in play was 222. So low. But hey, they've been a little bit cold lately. 14 strikeouts. Yikes. Pitcher analysis, 59%, 51 first pitch. Angels 67. They threw a lot of strikes. I just one. They missed a lot. They had 18% foul ball, Tiger 19. A lot of foul balls today. Only 16%, but again, 21 is the average, so even with only 5 strikeouts, they weren't that low. We had a lot, 37, and that's been a much, much, much better number. I've usually been between like 25 and 18%. Today, just as you saw, we just had a lot of swings and misses against Tehran. 7 strikeouts really early for him in the game. But overall, yeah, it's a game that played really well. We talked about Miguel Cabrera's kind of countdown to 3,000 hits. It's going to be a long shot if it happens this year. And yeah, oh yeah, Ryan, I saw your message. I just haven't had a chance to look. I read it. I just haven't looked, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do with Bretto. But I have to download today's thing too. I haven't watched my game yet. Yeah, we talked about a lot today. I really liked the beginning of the stream, just kind of talking about just kind of what's going on in this franchise and whatnot, and really just franchise modes in general. I mean, hell, we talked about COVID. We talked about Morocco. We talked about all kinds of stuff today. So very, very fun stream. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm still trying to get a lot of the subscriptions from my old YouTube channel transferred over. I don't really think there's a way to like send out messages. Plus, I don't want to be obnoxious about it. But if you could just spread the word, this is the channel to be subscribed to. Ryan's streaming a couple series that he's been working on. And it's an open thing. If people want to stream kind of franchise-related stuff, even if it's just I would say, a well-organized tirade or something about like your top wants for franchise mode. I mean, it doesn't have to be like an actual game. There's ways to contribute. You don't have to be a writer. You don't have to be a professional streamer. There's lots of different ways and things that you can do to get involved, and that's the whole idea behind Sim Sports Gaming. This is not a new movement for us at all. This whole fixed franchise mode or fixed Madden franchise, all the different hashtags. This is absolutely nothing new for us. We've been beating on that drum for quite a while. So, but yeah, continue to fight those good, the good fight, I guess. And again, there's constructive ways to do it, and that's what we're trying to do here. So, but I think that's gonna wrap it up. Again, I have to play this Houston series here, which I'm hoping to still do over the weekend. If not, I got plenty of time next week to get caught back up. And yeah, before we know it, we'll be down to less than 100 games by the 19th. So it's exciting. It starts to get really, really interesting as the season starts ticking down and you start watching stats and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Again, I'm Mike Lowe. You can follow me on Twitter, MikeLowe47. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, pass it on, get involved. Check us out at Sim Sports Gaming and check out our Discord. We opened up a lot of different chat channels yesterday so that we can talk about all kinds of different stuff with Madden coming out soon. And gosh, college football would have came out this week. How sad, right? It's a huge bummer, but hey, maybe one day. There's been a lot of progress that seems made lately on that game, and also we have games like Maximum Football. That's a really, really promising looking game that I definitely plan to check out this fall. We have one of the developers who's part of the SSG community there, and is just a great guy. So I'm really excited to see what they're able to do with that game. So anyway, I've been rambling here. I need to start getting some other stuff done before my wife freaks out again. She keeps walking my cleaning supplies and yoga mats, and I mean, I'm just sitting here just being a bum. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.